What is going up, guys? This is the FlameSpot here, and we are back with a brand new paper games video. And this is actually a paper game that's one of you guys suggested. It was Stick Art with a K, and he suggested that I should make a capture the flag video. And I was like, oh cool, I should do that. And then got me thinking, wait, how should I do this? I don't want to just make it like any old regular capture the flag where it could be easier to get things done. No, I decided to make it a little more challenging, and I came up with some ideas for this. And so it came to me, I was like, wait, I should just blend together some of my other paper games and add some new ones, and maybe it could make a good game. So with that mindset, I basically branched together my Spy Master and my goal game, and I made this capture the flag. So as you can see, I have a whole entire 2 pages filled with things, and I'll go over the rules in a second. So first, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to show you how this game looks like first, because it is pretty hard to actually understand. Alright, so as you can see, I had 2 papers. They're both in grids. This one is 14 by 32 lines, and the same for this side. As you can see, you can play this game in pen or in pencil. You can make your grid in pen or pencil. I suggest that you make your grid in pen so that you can easily erase it and reuse this game board afterwards. See, I just erased that, and now you can basically just set up the game again. But for now, I'm gonna put that back. It might be in a different spot. It does not matter right now. So this is a 2-player game, and each person is going to get a side, and you're going to have a cover sheet or like a shield piece of paper that could be a shield. Now, this paper is actually really important because you're going to have it on your side, which is the side defending your flag, the whole time. So what you're going to do is you're going to set up a match or a board. So let's just say that this side is your board and this side's going to be my opponent, which is right now going to be me again. So what I'm going to do, I have this 32 by 14 grid right here, and what I'm supposed to do, on my rules, I'm giving myself 40 barricades. Now each barricade is every 1 by 1 of these boxes in the grid, so I can shade in 40 of these. So I actually already did it here. It might not look like it, but this is actually 40 barricades that are shaded in. For your game, you can increase this however much you want. You can put 100. I'm just going to say right now there are 448 or around that at least boxes, so you can just think of it and you can try to see how much you can scribble in. But right now I'm just going to do 40. So I'm going to scribble in 40 boxes and put my flag in one of them. Now, your flag might be a little hard to see, but your flag also takes up a 1 by 1 box. Now, a rule is for whenever you're setting up your board is that you cannot inbox your flag and your barricade. So you have to have at least a 1 by 1 box entryway to get your flag. And another rule with that is that you cannot basically put a whole entire line of barricades here so that the opponent cannot get past and even get to your flag either. Those are just basic rules. So yes, some other things that you need to know is that you cannot draw barricades at angles, or you cannot shade in half barricades so it makes like a triangle, so like you can't make that look, or I guess you can't like do half a barricade right here so you have half a line, because that would just be too hard to move inside of here and get out. So I'm making it so it's only 1 by 1. You have to fully fill it in. You cannot fill in only some of it to make angles and slopes and other things like that. Now, you're going to then have your starting dot to where your opponent starts, and basically this is your side of your field done, and this is supposed to be defending you. So you're trying to figure out a bunch of barricades set up so that they can't get your flag. Now, I'm actually going to draw it on this side very quickly. So this is actually in pencil, so this will be hard to erase, well, it'll be easy to erase, but I won't have the same field. So again, this is just going to show you what you want to do. So let's just say I'm going to put some barricades down here, and just quick scribbling. So you can see this is the other person, and so I'm going to start here, and you're going to know what that means. This is actually a flick game, so you're going to start down there, just like the Spy Master. And let's just say I'm going to pretend that I have a lot of things going on over here, except my flag is going to be on this side, and there's not going to be that many boxes protecting it. This is like a distraction, so I'm just going to have a small little defense over here, but I'm going to put a lot of boxes over here, and you'll understand what this means later on. You'll understand the strategy and what I am basically showing by example of doing. So I know this isn't 40 boxes, but let's just say it is. So I'm going to put, this is your opponent, I'm just going to put the paper, your shield paper, all the way down to the bottom so that your last grid on each side shows. Now, I'm using 2 pieces of paper. You can use one, but sometimes you can see through one, especially if there's a light going overhead. So I'm just going to use 2 for the sake of it. So now, that was basically your setup. So now it's time to start playing. What you need is a die and a pencil. Basically what's going to happen is that one player, they're going to roll their die, and they're going to get a number. Now, before I actually do anything with this, each player, when it's their turn, they have 2 different things. There's 2 different things that they have to do before it's the next player's turn. So, first thing that you do, you roll the die. So, I got a 2. So let's say this is me, and this is the opposing player. So, I'm going to move the shield paper up by 2. So you see I moved it up by 2 blocks. Now, I guess you can't do this on the first round, but your other move, or your other thing that you can do, you can move. You cannot move if you don't want to, because there's a reason, or you can counter. I'll explain the counter later, after a few moves, because it will not really work at all right now. So, let's just say I'm going to move, and this is going to be a basic flick game. Oops. And boom, there you go. So, basically, my guy just moved there after I flicked it. So now my turn is ended. So now let's say it's the opponent's turn. So they're going to roll a die, and they get 5. So they're going to move yours up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now they're like, oh man, what should I do now? I can either counter roll or I can flick. In this situation, they would flick because you can't counter roll, and I'm going to explain counter roll right now. It looks like so. That's back to your turn. So you're going to roll. That was a 3, so you're going to move this side up. 1, 2, 3. Things are in the way. 3. All right. So now you have this much board. So I could move, but maybe I want to counter roll now. Now what a counter roll is, you're going to roll again, and then whatever number it is, that's how many times you get to move your opponent's player sheet down. So they prevents them from seeing, and also makes it so that they cannot go further. So this was up to right here. Now I rolled a 6, so 1, 2, and I would go down more, except this is a rule now. If you cannot cover up the player's last dot. So even though I rolled a 6, I can only go 2 down, because if I went more than cover up the opponent's player's dot, and that you just can't do that. So since I counter rolled, then I'm not moving, and now it's back to this person. So they're going to roll, and they're going to get a 1, so that counter roll was basically successful because they didn't really get anywhere. And so since they can't go anywhere, they're probably going to counter roll you, and you got a 6, so that goes all the way down. So basically, this goes a bunch of back and forth movements. And so basically, you're going to get to a point where, let's just say, this person was over here, and you were over here because you thought, since there's a lot of defenses, that their flag's going to be somewhere over here. Now, just like in my Spy Master game, let's say it is my turn, and I go up here, and I flick, and I hit this barricade. Now, when you hit a barricade, it's going to be just like the Spy Master, and you're going to get a notice. So I'm just going to write this in right here. So you get 5 notices. Well, it depends on however much you want. You can see how many barricades, you can choose however many barricades you want, you can choose how many notices you want. So, you only get 5 notices, let's just say, and that means you can hit 5 things. And when you hit something, you just go, you draw your dot whenever closest to where you hit the barricade, and then you'd cross off a notice. Now, if you lose all 5 notices, then you're going to have to start all the way back from the beginning dot. Now, another thing to think about with that is, let's say the paper was all the way down here, and I wanted to flick it, and I hit the paper. If you hit the paper, then you also, again, have to start from the first dot, so you don't want to hit the paper. Which might be a reason why you don't want to move for the first couple of times, because you're just going to keep on hitting the paper. So yeah. So the point of the game, let's just move this all the way down here. Basically, you can see the flag, you know where it is, so even if you counter roll, although they can't move up that far until they uncover it, let's just say they're right here. So, the point of the game, you have to hit their flag, and then you have to go all the way back to your starting dot. Now, if you get all 5 notices taken away on your way back, then you have to drop the flag. So let's just say you hit here and you had the flag and that was your last notice. You're going to redraw the flag and you're going to start all the way down here. Alright? And then you're going to have to go back up, and then you can get the flag, and then you can come back and you'll get 5 more notices. Every single time you come back down here because you hit 5 objects, then you're going to get your 5 notices back. But however, let's just say if you have like 3 notices left and you hit this paper, you're still only going to have 3 notices left. It doesn't matter. Alright? So that's the main amount of rules. So I'm just going to go on to this half-drawn field. This is just going to be a quick thing. Basically, how I measured my lines is by just going by the centimeter, and then I just mark every centimeter, top and bottom, so I can easily draw in my lines. So I'm just going to draw in around 1 line, 1 or 2 lines. And also think, if you're going to use a wooden ruler, you should use the metal side, because if you don't, then your pen ink might get onto the wooden side and it will leave marks behind like this. Alright, so basically that was just the main concept of the board. That's the main concept of the game too. You're just trying to get to the flag and you get back by using the same flick methods as in Spy Master. You have the barricades, where you can have a certain amount of barricades as you want. Like I say, I go for an average of 40 around, and then also you get your notices, and that's mainly the main part of the game. So, if you want to see more paper games, how to draw them, how to make them, even some examples of me playing them with my friends, please just comment down below. If you have any ideas toward games, then go and also comment down below and ask what you want. So, this is the Flame Spot, signing out.